Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and if you're new here, welcome to my office. Today I'm going to be reacting to Love is Blind Season 3 episodes 4 to 7. If you haven't watched my first video on episodes 1 to 3 and you want to go in chronological order, make sure you check that out first. It'll be linked down below. But if you're here for the tea of episodes 4 to 7, then sit back, relax, like, subscribe, and let me take you for a ride. Disclaimer, all of this is my own opinion. It is not fact. It is what I think in my head and is not to be taken literally. Also, I am aware my nails are beyond messed up. I'm seeing my nail lady today, peoples, so not to worry. Don't mind these things right here. So the way that I write my notes is I go episode by episode and I'm just like literally like studying the show, like if I'm in a class in school. So yeah. And wow, I just realized that it looks like I'm naked wearing this shirt. I have a shirt on, but it looks like I'm naked. Shall I change my shirt? Jesus. Should I change my shirt? You guys know I have a shirt on. So, let's get started with episode 4. So episode 4 starts the first day that they wake up together, and it seems like all the couples, you know, got a little freaky deaky the night before, except Raven and SK. Go figure. Alright guys, I can't, like, and I'm gonna bring this up multiple times because I think it's so cringe. I think it's the most cringe thing I've ever seen in my life, I feel like, because Bartise asks for kisses so much, it's annoying. Like, bro, just lean in and kiss her. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Come here. Give me a kiss. Oh my god, if that's not the most cringy thing ever. Ugh. No, I can't. And Nancy is like so in love. She's like, yeah, giving him all the attention that he wants. And he's like talking and how much, you know, he's enjoying his time or whatever. Like, man, you need to relax because in the next couple episodes, you're not going to want to be saying all those things to her that you're saying now because you might change your mind. And poor Nancy over here speaking on their emotional connection and how much she's in love with him and how much she cares for him and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, girl, you shut up too. Calladita, please. So Alexa and Brennan, they're probably like the best couple right now because they haven't gotten into any arguments. They're actually seeing eye to eye. And it's just so funny because they're like both super open with each other. And she's like, I get Botox. And he's like, I get Botox too. Like, what a cute bonding moment. Like, can we get Botox together? I've been thinking about getting Botox on these two lines that I have there. You see right there when I wrinkle it? Obviously right now it's showing because I'm wrinkling it. But sometimes if I'm out in the sun too long, you can see them. And it's just kind of annoying. So I want to not be able to move it. Comment down below if I need Botox. Let me know. Let me know, you know? Raven and SK. My god, man. Girl, stop working out. Like, we get it. You're fit. Maybe I'm just hating a little because I wish I had a partner that was a Pilates trainer and would be my personal trainer and make me be fit. I don't know. Head scratches at Cole and Zenib. Okay, like, I've been just cringing this whole time because they're arguing about the words good and great and the difference between them, because I guess Zenib was saying, oh, like, you know, last night was great or whatever, and he was saying it was good, so that bothered her because he said it was good instead of great. Like, girl, you're 30, let's be serious now. And you could have probably heard in the pods that you were going to be with someone who's a little immature. So I mean, having a discussion about the words good and great is probably not something that you should waste your time on. So then they start talking about how she's passive aggressive, and my last video, oh my god, I was like so annoyed because I was looking for that term and I could not like find it in my brain. But I was like saying, you know, whatever she was saying, her face wasn't matching, and it's passive aggressive. That's the word I was looking for. But it's like a little annoying because she is a little passive aggressive, and like I don't mind a little bit of it because it's kind of like funny sarcasm sometimes, but all the time how they show it in the cameras would definitely be triggering to me. And it's definitely gonna be triggering to Cole because he's literally a 2-year-old. And then I kind of like thought it was weird that when they were talking about like how their life would be together, she said, oh, you would like find a great place to flip for us and I would make it a home. Like, what? So he's gonna like basically be the provider and you're just gonna make it a home? Like, I don't know, I found that strange. Just not something that you might say to someone you're just getting to know. I don't know. All right, Colleen and Matt. Right now, everything's butterflies, rainbows, flowers for them or whatever, but it's gonna change in the next couple episodes. So you guys will see. And they're definitely like the first ones to like admit that they did the hanky-panky the first night, and they were very excited about it. Very excited. So back to Nancy and Bartise. Stop asking for kisses. Oh my god, you're so cringe, bro. Bartise, stop. Like, literally, it's, give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Just kiss her, bro. She wants it. Don't worry. You don't have to ask for consent. And it's so funny because, like, in the scene where they're just, like, I think they're sitting by the pool and they're drinking champagne and she's feeding him strawberries or something. And he is, like, giving so many affirmations to her before he literally, in the next couple episodes, you'll see, is not gonna be giving her those affirmations. He's definitely getting those cold feet. Frozen feet. Y'all will see in episode 7. So then we go on to SK and Raven, and she's like booked, I guess, like I don't even know what you would call it. It's like an instrument, like yoga kind of zen session. He falls asleep. He falls asleep while they're doing the session and he's literally snoring. You can tell she wanted him to be more into it, but I mean, I would fall asleep too. But you can see that Raven is getting a little bit more like close to him because he's like willing to put himself out there and do all the things that she wants to do, and he actually tries for his girl. And I like that when the session was done, they were eating like a snack or like lunch or something, and it was a little hot, I guess. And she was like fanning him with a towel, like, you know, just like little things to show that she actually does care about him, even though she's not like physical. Okay, so now we're in the part of episode 4 where everyone's just meeting all of the other couples. So people that they've dated in the pods before, now they're putting faces to the names, and yada yada yada. I know that they do the confessionals like during or after the party, but Nancy, yo, she's always drunk. Like whenever they have a meetup where there's drinks, she's always like this. Like, you know, some people you can't tell when they're drinking. She's always like this. So then the messy ass producers are asking each of them like, oh, what do you think about this person when you finally saw them in person? Or what do you think about the other person? And all the girls are like, respectfully, it could have been him and he's cute, but I have my mans now or whatever. And Cole and Bartise are just like letting it rip, man. Like, oh man, Raven is so hot. She was wearing a tight little dress and she was looking like a smoke show. And I'm just like, oh my god, are you drunk or something? Like, this is gonna be seen by the world, bro. Like, careful with what you say. Cole too was saying that Colleen was like pretty hot or whatever. Like, Bartise, you haven't even spoke about your fiance like that, in that way, and how hot she is and all this stuff, and you are going in on how hot you think Raven is. Like, watch your mouth, bro. And then there's like a part where SK, Bartise, and Cole are all like kind of like talking to each other about what the other people look like and all that stuff, and I'm just like, messy, messy, messy. Stop. Go away. Do not speak to each other, especially Bartise and Cole. Just separate now, please, please. I'm begging you. You look bad. Just stop. Just stop. And then Cole's over here like trying to justify his love for Zenib, like, oh, like I loved her in the pods and then she was hot in real life, but now I'm trying to link the two together. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You don't need to link anything together. If you like her in the pods and like her in real life, what are you trying to figure out? Make it make sense. And then you see SK in the middle, like trying to like simmer them down because Cole brings up the fact that Zenib is like a little passive aggressive. And then SK's like, oh, maybe passive aggressive isn't too much of a bad thing. And Cole's like, no, it's a really bad thing. Like, bro, I was just trying to help you and you are not letting that happen. But Cole does say something that I'm like, okay, that's exactly like what I was thinking, that you were thinking. Because how I said that her emotions or what she says doesn't match her face, he said that he would picture her saying those passive aggressive things in the pods, but smiling. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because she's a passive aggressive. That's why I was like, why did you guys get linked up with each other? And it's because he probably thought she was just being sarcastic and funny. And then poor SK, like, he's talking about the first night with Raven and like how it wasn't like very, you know, touchy. Like they were like separate on the couch and like, you know, getting to know each other. And Bartise just takes that and goes like, if it was me, she would be on my lap right now, and making it seem like it's because it's SK, but really, it would be the same thing if it was with you, bro. She is not with it. She's not giving it up the first night. You are not special, my friend. Stop acting like that. And why are you even thinking about that? You're with Nancy, so shut up. You're not different. Trust me. Again, I do not think this guy is attractive at all. And he thinks he is hot-ish. Like, ugh, I just can't stand that. He was like, if it was me and her, she would be sitting on my lap right now. Like, ew, America, take away his freedom of speech. Ugh, can't stand the dude. And then you kind of start seeing like little signs of Matt like being worried about Colleen playing him. And I'm just like, insecure vibes. Like, are you healed, sir? Are you healed? Like, this party is just all over the place. And then Brennan, you just hear him reassuring Alexa every 2 seconds, like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, I love you. Boy, you would be every insecure girl's freaking dream. But Alexa isn't insecure, so she's just probably like enjoying the compliments, like, yeah, I know, thanks, you know? But he is so reassuring, oh my gosh. It's like, I would probably find it a little annoying because I'm not insecure, but I mean, you just met the guy, you're like super in love, so you're probably like, okay, thanks. And then Bartise over here in one of the confessionals, they get, oh, I'm looking forward to getting to know Raven more. Dude, we are not in the pods anymore. Like, you are not looking forward to getting to know anybody but Nancy. So I don't know what you're talking about. Sit down. And then he says, if I had any regrets, it's not taking the last couple of days to get to know Raven more. What more did you need to know about her? If her formation was good during squats? If she was doing enough cardio? Like, you didn't relate on anything. There was no emotional connection. And again, the only similarity you guys had is that you both work out. Like, get over it, bro. You picked someone that's not your typical 10. Cómetelo. Eat it. Bro, just get over it. You didn't pick the hottest girl there. You don't need the hottest girl there because the hottest girl there doesn't have the personality that you're looking for in a girl, obviously. Don't go on a show called Love is Blind if you're gonna be shallow AF. He makes me so mad. I think if I had to like eliminate someone from this earth each season of Love is Blind, then last season would have definitely been Shake, and this season is definitely Bartise. So now it's after the party and they're all back in their rooms and Nancy and Bartise are like laying in bed and Nancy asked Bartise like right off the bat, do you think any of the couples are not going to work out? And how do you say disimular? Disimular in English. Okay, hide, I guess. It's not hide or conceal. It's like pretend to hide. That's the translation in Spanish. Like when someone says, oh, there's a cute guy behind you, but don't make it obvious. That's disimular. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he made it so obvious because the first couple he says is Raven and SK. They're not going to work out because SK was saying that Raven was sitting on the opposite end of the couch and he's doing like a whole demonstration, making Nancy move over to the other side of the bed and him to the other side so he can show them how far they've been apart from each other. She's just like drunk and like, okay, do I gotta do this? Okay. And like not really caring about the conversation. But he's going like to lengths to explain how far they are from each other. But again, he wasn't like hiding or pretending to hide that right away he didn't think SK and Raven will work. And it's probably because he's already conspiring. Like, crap, how am I gonna get out of this situation? I didn't pick the hottest girl. Oh my gosh. Playa vibes. I've been saying this since the beginning. Man whore. And then he's straight up telling her, oh my god, this is so cringe. Straight up telling Nancy that Raven's a smoke show and says that that's usually what he would go for in real life. Like, what is this? Like a fantasy? This is real life. But then, like, remember, you're telling your fiance this. Like, you're not telling the bros this. Like, you're telling your fiance straight up that someone is way freaking hotter than her. Red flag? Or no? I guess it's not a red flag for Nancy. She's wild. And then he's like, are you cool with me being that honest with you? And she's like, mm-hmm. No, she's not cool with you being that honest with her. So that was the end of episode 4. It was a lot. It was a lot, okay? It was a lot. So now we're on to episode 5. Thank the Lord that cringiness from episode 4 was done. Because Cole and Bartice, I roll. Okay, so Cole and Zeneb are like having a picnic or something on the beach at this point. I don't know why the producers do this. It's so cringe. I mean, I know why they do it, to make it a good show. They probably ask them like, ask each other if you would have picked somebody else, like now, you know, seeing their faces or whatever. Santi just texted me that Abby Lee Miller is in his store and I'm fangirling. And Zeneb is like straight up like, no, I wouldn't. Like, she's happy with her choice or whatever. And Cole literally takes a pause. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't have picked any girl. And then he starts to say, Alexa is just not my type. Raven is too much for me. And Colleen is happy with Matt. Like, you gave good examples for the first two. Because, you know, they're not your type or they're too much for you. But your reason for Colleen was that she's happy with Matt. So nothing negative about her. Just that she's with somebody else. Terrible example for him to give. And I'm just like, bro, why are you so strung up on how hot Colleen is? Like, no offense, but I guess he's just like used to dating white girls and only thought about dating white girls. So when he sees like a beautiful Middle Eastern, Asian, or whatever she is, I don't know her nationality, in front of her, he like doesn't know what to do with her because she is beautiful. So I don't know what's so hot about Colleen. She's just like a typical white girl. No offense, like, she's pretty, but I can literally find a million of Colleen right down the block. I went to Celebration Middle School and High School, the whitest schools in Central Florida. I saw Colleen's 100 times a day for the better half of my life. So now Matt and Colleen are on like a little boat ride date and they're chilling. And this is like for sure when Matt is starting to give me like little insecure vibes and I'm just like, girl, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like the way he was asking her questions, like you could tell he was looking for very particular answers and she knew how to answer them, but she's gonna get annoyed answering and reassuring him, I'm positive. He was like, are you in love? Like, no, I just picked you and said I love you a million times already. I'm not in love. Like, he seems to be asking for like a lot of confirmation and validation and affirmation. Like, all the shins, stop it. They were talking about how strong their relationship is and he was like, it's because of how strong our relationship it is, right? Like, you ask the question, let her answer it instead of like, it is, right? Like, red flag. Like, bro, just let her answer it and stop looking for cringy validation. And now we're moving on to the pool party from hell. I literally wrote that in my notes. Pool party from hell. And the first thing that happens, I'm like, Alexa, girl, why'd you put your man out there like that? Like, she was saying that it took him like a while to like get it up the night before, but I mean, all you guys were drunk, 1. And 2, like, don't put your mans out there like that. I give it to guys, like, they gotta work for that. They gotta like mentally be there, and sometimes you're just not mentally there. And like, you just met each other, like, there's a lot of factors to take in. And then we have Bartice over here like talking about how he still cares about Raven because he made a connection with her as well in the pods. And I'm just like, I think my eyes are gonna stay like stuck to the back of my head if I keep rolling my eyes at Bartice. Man, you are something else, bro. And even like on a little side confessional, Raven's like, he's definitely like more into me now that he's seen me than in the pods. Like, he's more interested in this Raven than pod Raven. And that's like the first time I like something that Raven says because, girl, straight up, he did not care about you this much in the pods. And honestly, in the pods, the only thing he was hanging on to is that he knew that Raven was probably the hottest girl there. Like, she tells him straight up they're emotionally incompatible and he's like nervous laughing, like Boy, stop. And then we have a scene where Cole's talking to Alexa, because I guess they're like mix matching people to see like what conversations people have. And then here we are, Cole talking about Colleen again. And in Alexa's confessional, she's like, I didn't even have to like pry it out of him. Like, I just got all the tea and I didn't even ask for it. Remember this conversation because this is going to get brought up 10 million times. Cole and Colleen have a conversation at the poolside. And he's over here straight up flirting with the girl. And, like, you can tell she's, like, uncomfortable, but, like, letting him down easy and also not, like, being mean about it. So it comes off as her flirting back with him. But he's saying, you know, if I saw you at a bar, like I would definitely, you know, go for you. And she was like, yeah, if I saw you at a bar, I probably would have too, like, before this experiment or whatever. And now this conversation is going to be taken and twisted. So now they're back in their rooms and Nancy and Bartise are again talking about the topic, and Bartise is saying that he likes Nancy's personality and that's why he picked her, but he loves Raven's look. Like, make it make sense. This is what was a little weird to me. But he starts talking about how in his previous relationships when he's been in love, the love starts to like randomly fizzle out and he doesn't know why it does that, but he just like ends up not liking them anymore. And I'm like, why are you telling her that? Why are you telling her that? Are you going to do that to her? Like, do you intentionally do it? And then you're saying that you don't know why it happens and you're lying? Because that's what it seems like. And I could probably bet some money that it's going to happen. And then this is what makes me think Nancy is like this blind, stupid girl when she's in love. Because, that makes me think, I know. He straight up asks her, after all that's gone on, like, will you marry me right now? And she's like, yeah, 100%, sign me up. Girl, red flag. He's a walking red flag. He is a 6 foot tall red flag. Like, you don't know him. You just met him. I mean, you might marry him in 3 weeks. And then the episode ends with Colleen and Matt fighting because I guess he asked her what Cole and her were talking about in the pool, and she tells him, like, basically, like, he was, like, saying that if he met her at a bar that, you know, he would, like, definitely go up to her or whatever, and she would probably, you know, pay attention to him or whatever. Yo, Matt took this the most wrong way possible and, like, even, like, attempted to break up with this girl. Like, girl, he is not healed from his past relationship where his girl cheated on him and got pregnant. Like, he is not. Run for the hills. So that was the ending of episode 5, and it was just like a wreck like the rest of this show. Moving on to episode 6. So in the first scene, all the couples are like having a meeting with Vanessa and Nick Lachey, and Matt and Colleen are like, yeah, we had a little bump on the road last night. Red flag on the road last night. And we fixed it, so we're all good now. Spoiler alert, they're not all good now. But this is where like they finally all get their phones back, because remember this whole time for like 2-3 weeks or whatever, they don't have their phones or like contact with the rest of the universe. So you can tell Raven and SK are now like still warming up to each other, but it's getting, you know, a little bit better because she was like saying that she was gonna save it till marriage or whatever. But she's like, I don't know, I might break that rule. And then we find out that Cole's family is like not into this whole experiment thing and they're not supportive with what he's doing. So that's a little sad. He probably feels kind of bad, but he kind of like brushes it off like, oh well. But you know, you always want your family to like be there for your wedding and be supportive with what you do. But I can understand their concerns because he said he was married before and it was also like really short, so they're probably like, he's just messing around here, like he's not trying to be married. Nancy and Bartise are talking and she says something along the lines like she doesn't anticipate them having any problems, and I'm like, bless your heart. How are you that naive? Girl, do not say that, because you're about to look real stupid in like 1 episode. Like, you can't be that delusional. Come on. Can't be that blind, baby. So now Nancy has taken Bartise to like one of the properties that she owns, and I think she said she owns like 8 properties and 2 of them are with her ex, which I can see Bartise's concern. I mean, it's kind of weird that you own property with your ex, but she does. So you kind of like knew that already. in the pods. You can't just like accept it and then not accept it. But they start talking about how she feels about like money and marriage, and she basically says that once they're married, like her money is his money, and which is how it should be, but not in this situation. Like, you just met him. Like, honestly, girl, you should sign a prenup. Just saying. I just saw like weird red flags when she was like if I have 200k, then you have 200k. And then Bartise is like, oh my gosh, if she has 200k, then I have 200k. Something he could have said could have been like if she has 200k, I'm gonna try my best to like make that 400k, because like, you know, it's an equal partnership. But he was just like saying dollar signs. I feel like it was just like weird vibes. Like, girl, get a prenup. Speaking of prenups, Alexa asked Brennan for one, and he was super cool with it because, again, Brennan is super cool with like everything, and understandably so, because you guys just met each other. It's not like a traditional marriage where you don't have to be worried about a prenup because you know the person well. Like, you're marrying them a month after meeting them, and you just met them blindly. Like, you don't know this person, so a prenup is not a bad idea, even if you don't have a lot of money. She's an empowered woman. If I didn't get married when I was 20 years old and wasn't broke, then I would probably get a prenup too. No, just kidding. Make sure you hit him with the prenup. So now we are meeting the families. SK and Raven. Okay, SK's mom is so cute. Like, you can tell like they're super tight knit. Okay. Hello?
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
What are you doing?
Filming.
Okay. Can you, before you go to...
Y'all, I just about had a mental breakdown. Literally all of my footage from episode 7 and half of episode 6 was in slow motion. And it's not fixable because there's no audio. So even if you speed it up, it doesn't fix it. So it's a different day, different outfit. I tried to recreate the same hair. I'm just not gonna let it get to me. Let's do this again. I'm gonna put the camera there and let's just do this damn thing. So what we left off on was Raven and SK are in their apartment, and SK's family comes over for dinner. Usually when a guy is respectable and an all-around good human being, they probably come from a good family, and his mom seems to be a really nice lady and a chef, apparently. Which, I mean, you don't need to like all the food all around the world, and you don't need to like your mother-in-law's food. But Raven, you could have acted a little better, girl. She did not look like she wanted to try that food, and when she tried it, it didn't seem like she loved it. So I thought it was just so funny. So the cringiest family meetup was definitely Bartise meeting Nancy's family, because Nancy's brothers had like a one-on-one talk with Bartise, and the brother asks him like, what's the reason you picked my sister? What makes her such a good person to you? Or blah, blah, blah. When the brother grilled Bartise like that and it looked like he was about to break a sweat, I was like, bring out the popcorn. Bartise literally says, oh, she brings out the best in me. Like, bland answers. And the brother's like, oh, that's a bland answer. She brings out the best in everyone. Like that's not like a crazy answer, and probably not the answer he was looking for, something deeper, you know? And then he asks him, oh, what if my sister gained 400 pounds? Would you still like her then? And then go figure, Bartise doesn't say yes, when you can literally just give the simplest answer. Yes, I would still love her. No, he's like, I'm not gonna lie and say physical attraction doesn't matter. Typical Bartise. So then we're in a scene where Raven and SK are in SK's apartment, and he's explaining what he's gonna do when the lease is up and the timeline of when he's leaving. And she basically says that she doesn't want to downgrade her life because he's going to college. And she also mentions that she wants him to pay like half of her rent, which I'm like, girl, he's gonna be a student and you still expect him to pay half your rent? Like, you're already living this lifestyle. Why can't you continue to live it for the next 2 years until he's making enough money, and probably gonna be making more money than you once he's done with college? So then Nancy and Bartise are in their apartment doing laundry, and the topic gets brought up. And to make it short and simple, guys should not have any say on what women do with their body, and every woman should do whatever they want with their body. The only thing that I think where it gets kind of like wishy-washy with my point of view is when there's girls out there having like 20, 30 of these things, and it's like they don't learn their lesson and they're using it like it's birth control when it's not plan B. That's like plan F. Like, you failed. Plus, Bartiz, come on, let's be serious, man. Like, you do not suit me as a type that will be babysitting a child, let alone a special needs one. And I say babysit because that's exactly what he would be doing, not fathering. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I just elbowed you. I'm so sorry. So episode 6 ends with Brennan meeting Alexa's family. And they take it pretty easy on him. I really like them. I feel like they remind me of my family. Like, they're kind of crazy, but just like a Hispanic version. And then Alexa's dad takes Brennan off to the side. And that's where episode 6 ends and episode 7 starts in that same scene. I'd like to just say, first of all, Alexa's dad's house is literally goals. Like, the contemporary look, nice sports car out in the front. Like, it's just beautiful. You can tell Alexa's dad is grilling Brennan just because that's his baby and he just wants a guy that's going to really take care of his daughter the way that he's done it her whole life. And you can tell she's lived comfortably. And Brennan does a good job at explaining that that's exactly what he plans to do. And it's very believable. So as most fathers are good readers, like my dad knew from the moment I started dating my ex-boyfriend that is not going to work out. Santi, no problem. And Alexa's dad is convinced that he is actually going to try his best and that he actually loves his daughter and is going to try to provide for her like he's done his whole life. So it was really cute. They said that they were going to turn him Jewish and he took out like a knife and everything and it was just funny. So then Colleen goes to meet Matt's mom and she's super cute. She wants the best for her son as well. She just probably doesn't know that her son is definitely not healed from his last relationship because he is not. So then Zeneb goes to Cole's apartment for the first time, and this man literally lives like a frat boy. He has fruit flies roaming around his toilet because he probably didn't like clean it or flush it or something for like the 3 weeks that they've been gone. And he literally has like a chair on top of his water heater because he has no space for it. Like, is that not a fire hazard? So then Nancy and Bartiz are having dinner with Bartiz's family, and I'm not going to stay on this topic for too long because honestly it angers me, but they started talking about abortion. I just literally, as a fellow woman, cannot stand Bartiz's sister. Like, girl, why are you crying over the abortion topic? Like, it's not happening to you. It's not your body. You have no say in anybody else's body. So keep that ish to yourself. Like, you're gross for even getting that emotional over something that's not probably going to happen because one, Nancy and him might not work out, which is a very high probability because your brother's a fucking piece of crap. And two, there's only a very slight chance that a baby might come out with disabilities, enough to get aborted. So I just don't think you should be commenting or thinking about that. So then we meet Raven's friends. You could tell they just like wanted somebody like super rich for their friend or someone to like spoil her and like let her live her life the way that she's living it still. And no offense, but it didn't seem like any of them were in a long-term committed relationship or knew anything about compromise. So I just found it weird. And not funny. Weird. So then they go to a scene where Bartiz is basically showing his fizzling out happening right before our eyes. Just like I said that it would happen. Like, man, I know what you're doing. You're pretending like you're losing feelings little by little to then have an excuse to leave. So now the couples are going out for drinks and dinner, and again, the girls are together, and the conversation, Rio, please don't breathe hard. Please, I'm trying to film. And again, the Colleen and Cole conversation gets brought up, and the girls are talking, and Zeneb tells them straight up that she knows about like what happened during the conversation. And even Colleen's like, what the heck? Like, why does she even know about that? And like, she just wants to avoid the topic in its entirety, like I would too, because we already talked about it. It was settled. Like, hello. Zeneb and Matt get to talking, and they're talking about how they're the ones that are blindsided in this and that they shouldn't be put in this situation. So then, once and for all, Matt and Cole finally speak, and Cole straight up tells him, like, exactly what happened, and Matt understands now that he was wrong for saying the things that he said to Colleen and not listening to her. And I just found it really funny that Matt was listening, to Cole more than he was listening to his own fiance. Like, Colleen told you the same exact thing, and you were not acting like that. So then the messy producers, they bring the girls from the pods out that didn't get matched up with a couple, and they bring Andrew out. and they're all mingling, and Andrew and Nancy finally get to have like a conversation one-on-one, like now seeing each other. And Nancy was a little tipsy, you know what I'm saying, like she always is, and she started to cry and like vent to Andrew about what was going on. Guys, how could I forget in the last video, and I don't know how I forgot to mention this, I must have literally skipped over my notes, but Andrew, when he got eliminated, or not eliminated, when he got rejected by Nancy with the proposal, he was dropping the teardrop, he was dropping the eye drops in his eyes. That was the cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, man, just cry. That would be less embarrassing than you trying to hide that you're crying by dropping like 20 drops of eye drops in your eyes. But anyway, so then they're having a conversation, and Nancy starts to cry about how Bartice's feelings are fading because he's not physically attracted to her, and Andrew's like hearing her out like, damn, like that's crazy, like how could he do that? And Bartice literally comes like a dog and pisses on his territory. He literally comes over, he's like, is there anything that I should be worried about? And then he kisses her, all like, that's my territory type thing, and then he walks away. And it's just like, cringe. Like, you are the whole show. Super cringe. Can't stand you, Bartice. Playa. And Andrew's just like. So finally they go home, and Bartice and Nancy are talking about like what was going on, because Nancy's saying that now Bartice is acting a little funny on the car ride home. And he's like, I just like want to know what you guys were talking about, blah, blah, blah. And she's like being honest with him, like, I was just talking about how you're not attracted to me anymore, and I was emotional and I started to cry. She seemed like she didn't want to cry, so that's why I'm saying she was probably just too drunk and started to cry when she was talking about it, because she likes him so much and wants him to like her so much that she got emotional. So then Bartice gets a call from Matt that Colleen is missing and she didn't come home. And I don't even like want to talk about this part too much, because honestly it was so scripted. You could tell they were told to like have this conversation in Matt's apartment, like him and Bartice, because they were like, oh my god, I can't believe she did this. Oh my god, dude, I would kill to be in your position. Like, it was just such an act. But she's missing, so now we're left on a cliffhanger, and that's the ending of episode 7. Y'all, comment below what you guys are thinking so far, because too many things are going through my head, okay? Leave a comment below what your opinion is on the guys. Like, am I going too hard on Bartice? Like, I just can't stand the guy. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please click on that subscribe button. It'll help me out a lot. Click on that like button if you like this video. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!